Hi everybody. So I decided to base my collection project on various magnets that I've collected in the recent years based and connect them to different events that have happened in my life over the past few years. I'm actually going to start by going back with Disney. I absolutely adore most anything Disney has done. I say that because there's things I don't like that they've done. But I was born in 94, which is the same year that The Lion King came out. And I have a few different Disney classic magnets and some of the newer ones. So I don't have that many, but this one is from the villain from the first Little Mermaid movie. Her name is Ursula. And at the bottom it says Dark and Devious. And I do believe that relates to most everybody because I think everybody can have a dark side. Now then, this one is from the second Lilo and Stitch movie where Stitch meets another little alien that's like him, and this is actually Lilo's little weird looking funky doll. And on here it says Ohana means family, and the quote from the movie is Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. And Disney definitely stresses the importance of a functional family unit, even if they disagree. But family is always important. Now, my sister actually preferred the Aristocats movie more than I did, but I loved this little kitten, and one of her it's on the magnet, and one of the quotes from the movie is, "Because I'm a lady, that's why." Now, she's very sassy. She's very like, I rule the roost over my two brothers. And she is just a little sassy pants. And I absolutely love her because everybody needs a little sass to them every now and then. Now, one of the magnets I have from one of the newer Disney movies is actually from Inside Out. It came out about 6 or 7 years ago. So if you haven't watched that, I do encourage you to go watch it. This is the imaginary friend of the main character. His name is Bing Bong, as you can see there. And on the magnet he says, "I'm part cat, part elephant, part dolphin." And in the movie, you're like, one of the other main characters says, "I don't see how you're a dolphin," and he actually makes us sound like a dolphin. Now then, in 2018, I was, adjust that a little. I was married December 17th, 2018, and my then husband asked me for a divorce January 9th, 2019, because he wasn't ready to get married. And I know that wasn't the real reason now, but at the time I was very devastated. And one of my favorite Disney movies is actually a Tim Burton movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and our wedding was actually themed The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I can promise you it was a nightmare before Christmas, but it says, "Till death do us part," and I am glad I parted with that well before my death. Now, my mom, when I was a kid, was very into the zodiacs signs. She still is, for the most part. So I am a Virgo. September 17th is my birthday. Now, I was raised in a Christian household. These are actually my grandfather's hymnals and other various books behind me that he's collected over the years. And I actually jumped ship from Christianity straight into Wicca and witchcraft, and I did practice for a time being. Now I have completely destroyed all of the books that I had on that because I started having very, very negative and very, very bad things happen, and several things go wrong and how they weren't supposed to. And I started listening to influences that were very negative, very, very negative. And so I actually went back to my roots of Christianity and actually have a pretty good foundation of that now, better than what I did, and I do have a bit more understanding of different things from those real life experiences. Now, I have been diagnosed with clinical depression and 3 different anxiety disorders. Those anxiety disorders are OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not that bad, it's just certain things have to be a certain way. I also have GAD, which stands for Generalized Anxiety Disorder, which means I can get anxious and have a panic attack for absolutely no reason. And I have another one called trichotillomania. Now, trichotillomania, I don't talk about it very often, but I'm going to relate it here because it relates to the next group of magnets I'm going to show you. But it actually, sorry, my brain went blank there for a second. It's actually a hair pulling disorder. You get so anxious that you start pulling out hair from various parts of your body. Now, as you can see, it's not my head. Obviously, I have quite a thick amount of hair on my head, too thick, but actually it's my eyelashes. I have very few, very, very few eyelashes because of the anxiety disorder. Now, the magnets I want to relate to that are this one that says, hang on, let me overthink this. And this one where it's, some days it's just one thing on top of another. And you see all the turtles and the little frog and the little lizard up at the top. And I can assure you that the anxiety has been worse lately due to, well, all of the current events in my life. Now, I have another one that I did debate drinking to solve my problems, but I have a good friend who struggles with alcoholism, and I've seen how badly it's affected them. So I do drink on occasion, but if I feel depressed, I don't go for a drink because I know that'll make it worse. But this one says, wine is cheaper than therapy. Sorry for the glare. Let me see if I can do something about that. My lighting here is not fantastic. But yeah, wine is cheaper than therapy because sometimes it is. When I lost my insurance, I could no longer see my therapist, and she recommended not drinking. But when I can go to the store and get, wine for less than $5 a bottle. Now, the next sections are much more positive than the last sections I've shown you. I have a level 1 graphic design certification from UNA that I worked on as an undergrad, and I also have done a few works in the graphic design field. I did a couple of book cover designs, and I had to take a painting class, which I mentioned in my discussion. One of my favorite painters is Thomas Kinkade because of the beautiful nature scenes he has done. Now, I actually have a wooden decorative serving tray that has one of the Thomas Kinkade paintings on it, but sadly it is currently in storage, so I can't show you that. But I can show you these little magnets that I've got here. This says, a house is made of brick and stone. A home is made of love alone. And it's got a little picture of a castle, a little house on it. It doesn't matter how big your house is. If there's not love in it, it's not a home. And the other one says, life unfolds at the turn of a path. Now, we all know that life is very, very good at throwing us turns and twists and curveballs and God knows what else. Now, I have 3 more sections of magnets to show you. I am not a mom to children, but I am a mom to 3 dogs, and my fiance has 4 cats that I have adopted as my own. My oldest dog loves the little cats. She gets kind of upset when they won't play with her. It's really cute. Now, my oldest dog is a Staffordshire Terrier mix named Duchess. She thinks she's 72 pounds, and she definitely acts like a duchess sometimes. She's very sassy. And she thinks she's 10 pounds. So she thinks she's a lap dog, but she's my sweetie. And I have he's a 3-year-old Chihuahua mix. His name is Peanut. He's 10 pounds, and he tries to rule the roost. And I have my baby. I say my baby, she's almost 2. She is classified under the pit bull umbrella term. I'm not sure which of the 20 breeds that actually fall under that umbrella term that she actually is. She looks like a smaller pit bull terrier mix. She's very sweet, very cuddly, very playful, if I get up in the mornings and come back to bed, she just flops on top of me for cuddles. She's about 40 pounds. Now, stating that, I do have magnets that stay positive about my dogs and, you know, trying to help with the anxiety sometimes. And I have, my oldest loves kisses. I will get all the kisses all over my face all the time if I want them. And I got this one more recently. Love is a four-legged word. I don't know what I would do without my doggies sometimes. Now, I love the cats too, but I am more of a dog person than a cat person. Now, as I mentioned before, I am divorced currently. I am actually engaged and planning my wedding for this May. So I have that on top of grad school, on top of moving my fiance out of his house. So literally it's one thing on top of another. But for Christmas, he actually gave me these little magnets that are, they mimic succulents, which are little plants similar to cacti, and they don't need a whole lot of love, but I do not have a green thumb. I kill plants, unfortunately. And so this is one of them. It's actually one of my favorites because of all the detail in it. And then there's this one, which is actually in a little square container. It kind of extends from the top kind of backwards that way. Now this one is actually my other favorite of the bunch, and it is purple. I don't know if you can see that very well, but if you look at it this way, it reminds me of something out of a sci-fi movie, of like an alien attack or something like that. But it is my favorite little succulent. And then the final one that I'm going to discuss with you describes my life perfectly at this current moment in time. And I actually got it today when I went to the store to pick up a few things. And it says, stressed, blessed, and wine obsessed. Now, I am not wine obsessed. There are things that I'm sure some people would classify as obsessions that I have. But I am definitely consistently stressed out. As I stated, wedding, graduate school, and moving my fiance and 4 cats into my home has been... I have not had much time to breathe. And I am also very blessed to have the people and the things in my family that I do have currently. My fiance and I have actually been best friends for 9, going on 10 years. And it's awesome that we have that sort of built foundation for a relationship. So it helps us to better understand each other. And like I said, I like to drink a wine every now and then. A Moscato is my favorite, or a Riesling. I like the sweeter white wine. I have a glass on my birthday, maybe. I am what you call a social drinker, if that. It's a rarity that I do have a drink. But that is what I put together as my collection project. I wanted to take you through the last few years of my life and some of the big events that have happened in my life. If I had a magnet from getting my BS degree, I would show that as well. I did go to UNA to get my BS degree. I started there in 2018. And obviously I'm still there, but I'm working on my master's degree now. I graduated in December and went straight into the program. I took Christmas off, but that was it. And so this is my life through these little magnets. This is the collection that I have put together to share with all of you. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of your collections and what you have done. I'm very excited, and I hope all of you do well and do well in the class.